Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to my channel. If you are new, welcome. If you are coming back, welcome back. I'm so glad to have you. My name is Cassie, and on this channel, we talk all things of healing, self-love, and self-care, and becoming your dream woman. And so today, I want to talk about, have you ever tried to change your life, but you've been stopped, or you've given up because you feel like you can't do it, or things are not working out in your favor? Well, what if I told you that the life that you desire, the healed version of you, the confident, self-loving, soft, successful woman that you are trying to become is actually being blocked by one thing? Yes, one thing, but it's the most powerful thing going, okay? And that is your subconscious mind. And until you reprogram it, success is going to continue to feel like a struggle, love will feel unsafe, and you will keep self-sabotaging the very life that you are trying so hard to create. Today, I want to break down exactly how I retrained my subconscious mind, how you can too. So you can finally stop repeating old patterns and start living the life that God is calling you to live. So let's start here. What is your subconscious mind? Well, your subconscious mind is like the motherboard of your body. It controls your habits, your emotional reactions, your self-worth, the relationships that you allow, the money that you believe that you can make, and even the level of peace that you live in. You can want a new life consciously, right? But if your subconscious mind doesn't agree, you are going to end up self-sabotaging yourself every single time and not even really realize that you're doing it. Some examples of things that you may do to self-sabotage yourself. You want a healthy relationship, right? But you're feeling unworthy, so you're just going to push that away. You want success, but you believe that you're not really good enough for it. So you procrastinate and you never get around to doing the things that is actually going to bring you closer to being successful. You want to create a new identity, but you keep clinging to the old beliefs. And guess what? You just keep feeling stuck on that same hamster wheel, going around and around and around, wondering why can't you get any further? Well, this is why doing the inner work is not optional, right? So many people think that they can skip this step and still get to the finish line, but you can't. It's mandatory to do the inner work, okay? If you want a new life, you must teach your subconscious mind a new story. And most of our subconscious programming actually comes from our childhood, trauma, and repetition from years ago. For many of us, the negative patterns that were repeated over and over that actually, became familiar after a while. And our minds love what is familiar, even if it's not healthy. So that's why it's easier to believe the negative thoughts in the beginning, because your mind has already been practicing these things for years. But guess what? The good news is you can reprogram your minds. You can literally teach your brain a new identity, and you can create a new reality as long as you take some consistent steps onto retrain your mind to believe the new story, okay? So let's start with saying past tense affirmations like, I am beautiful, I am successful, I am living in peace, I became my dream woman, I am attracting healthy love, and I have created a beautiful, successful life. So saying those things as it's already done, you are telling your subconscious mind that this is the new thing, right? So then guess what? These are said on repetition, and then your mind starts believing it. And then once you start saying it long enough, your mind is even believing it even more. And then your life starts to shift into those beliefs that you are saying to yourself. So success starts showing up in different ways, beauty starts showing up in different ways, and it just slowly but surely things start to change. I also practiced some journaling with my limiting beliefs. And this is very powerful. So, you're going to want to do is ask yourself, what story am I still telling myself that is holding me back? What would I tell myself today if I truly loved myself? These questions are actually really powerful and can unfold the story that you are continuing on saying in the background, and you may not even really be aware of what you're saying. And so these things also will show you, what you're saying. If those thoughts are negative and things like that, guess what? That is basically showing that you still need to heal these things. So whatever's coming up, write it down, look at it, and if it needs healing, heal it. Don't ignore it, because it will continue to rerun in the background as it's the truth, okay? And then I also practiced mirror work. Now, this did feel a little weird at first, okay? I'm not gonna lie, but after a while, it became the new normal. So I stood in front of the mirror and I looked in myself, in my own eyes, and I started saying affirmations to myself, like, the affirmations that I shared, but I also said, I love you. You are worthy. You are smart. You are beautiful. All of these different things to really flood my subconscious mind with more positive beliefs and thoughts about myself. And in the beginning, like I said, it did feel a little uncomfortable, but that's how you actually really do need it. Because if it's uncomfortable with you just looking at yourself in the mirror, saying, I love you, oh, baby, you definitely need to make sure that you are doing this work so you can start rebuilding trust within yourself and feeling good again, okay? And then, don't skip this part neither. You're going to want to protect your sacred garden. And what is your sacred garden? Your mind. And because your mind listens to what you're watching, what you are feeding it. You're going to want to be mindful of all of these things, because if you're planting negative seeds because you're watching negative things and listening to negative things, then guess what? Your negative beliefs are going to grow, and then you're going to have weeds are growing, and the weeds are going to turn into big rooted trees, and you're never going to be able to take them down, or you're going to need to have a big crew to come in to help to take it down. So here are examples of things that I would recommend you to limit or to remove, actually. The negative shows that you watch, whatever that may be for you. Watching toxic influencers that are just talking about nothing but negativity, or, that aren't being authentic on social media. Also, gotta pay attention to the music that you're listening to. Are you listening to like the depressing, toxic music that is just talking about, cheating and killing and all of these different things? Or, are you listening to things that are going to lift you up? And then make sure you're not, sitting there drowning yourself every day with drama and fear content like the news and things like that, because those things will have you in fear and in that scarcity mindset and will keep you there, okay? So we can't keep that mindset if we want to grow and become the new best version of ourselves. And then here are some things that I would add to help our mindset blossom into becoming the woman of our dreams and to help us move forward to where we want to go. So listen to positive podcasts, something that is going to lift you up and help you feel more positive about the life that you are creating. Also, listening to healing content to help you figure out like what you need to do to heal, or, some things that you're struggling with that can give you a little bit of help and confidence, and just things that will put you at ease, because you're like, oh, okay, I'm not the only one that's going through this, right? And then also scripture and faith-based videos. Those were also very helpful during my journey, because guess what? I was the only one doing this work that I knew of, right? So listening to the scriptures and the faith-based videos helped keep me peaceful and clarity, and just gave me, a lot of times it gave me a message that I needed to hear that day to be like, okay, yeah, I am on the right track. Because there's plenty of times in the beginning of this that I doubted it. I didn't know. Like I said, I was the only one doing this that I knew in my life. And I was, doing it with God and stuff, but still, like, sometimes you're doubting yourself, right? And you're like, oh. am I hearing this right? Is this true? Is this, sometimes listening to other people's stories that will resonate with yours. And you're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, that's definitely what's happening with me as well. And then also listening to things that are going to motivate you, motivational speeches, music, whatever that may be, to help keep the motivation for you to continue growing and moving towards becoming your dream woman. And then creating or being in peaceful environments. Now, if you're going to create a peaceful environment, now that may look a little different to you than it does for me. I'll share some of the things that I've done to make my space more peaceful for me. Like if I am, trying to relax at night, I will light a candle, put some soft like spa music on and just lay down and relax. Or if I am, doing my journal practices in the morning, I will also put some either jazz music on, like soft jazz, or some spa music as well to help just keep me relaxed and just being able to focus and do what I need to do. And then if you're looking for like a peaceful environment outside of your house. Now I find that peaceful environment like in the woods. I like to go hiking. I like to go to the spa, and just some things like that. So, it depends on what you find peaceful in your life. And so I would want you to create that, because finding these little things that you enjoy is going to definitely help you stay consistent with this process and will help move you closer to becoming your dream woman. And then the next thing that I had to do was I had to create new habits that actually matched the woman who I was becoming, because your habits actually teach your subconscious mind of who you are. If you don't care about yourself, your subconscious mind believes that. And guess what? It is going to show you proof left and right that that's what is true, because that's what you keep saying. So it doesn't matter what we want. The world, God, the universe, however you want to say it, keeps showing you who you are. Okay. So that's why, creating these the new story and really getting your mind to believe it is the key to your success, creating the new life that you want. So some of the new habits that I created in my life that helped me become the dream woman that I am today was I created a morning routine. And this was huge because my morning routine, I didn't really have one. It was actually a hot mess, okay? I would snooze my alarm, get up at the last minute. I would run around like a chicken with my head cut off in the morning, getting my kids together, get me together. I would and then I would get to work. I would be running into work because I would be like running late because of course, that's what I'm saying. I'm going to be late. So guess what? Things happen and the world keeps showing you, yes, you're going to be late, because that's all you keep on telling yourself, that's what's happening. And so, you're going to want to tell yourself new stories so the world shows you different things. So I created a morning routine that caused me to actually have to wake up a little earlier than what I normally did. And that was a lot to begin with right there, right? Getting out of my comfort zone, waking up a little earlier, and being able to do this. It wasn't pretty at first. It wasn't perfect, but I just kept on trying. So you don't have to be perfect in all of this. Just keep showing up as much as you possibly can every single day. And you get better and better as more time goes on. And guess what? That little morning routine that I started creating for myself turned bigger and better over time. And now I start my mornings with calm and clarity and intention, and it just flows so much nicer now. And I am so glad that I went through the rough time to create this so I can live a little calmer right now. And then I also go on daily walks. This helps, move my body, helps gets me closer to my step counts, and just makes me feel good and gives me an opportunity to clear my mind in the morning. Practice positive self-talk. Now I do that with the affirmations. I do that with my journaling and the mirror work and all of that, right? But also, just continue telling yourself that you're doing the best that you can. And even you make a mistake, don't sit there and crucify yourself. You say, oh, okay, that's fine. I'll do better next time. So always want to try to make the best out of each situation. So then you don't let those negative thoughts continuously pop in and take over, because you don't want those weeds growing in your sacred mindset, right? Okay. And then showing up with intention daily. What are your intentions for the day? What are you doing? What are your goals? How are you moving forward? All of that is going to help you move closer to the life that you want to create. And then also keeping promises to yourself. And that was huge because, I would break my promises because life would be lifing and things would be crazy. Something would happen with the kids or, come up or whatever. I would have to stay at work, so then I couldn't do this. And, it was just, I never really took it too seriously, but then I ended up losing a lot of trust within myself. And it took a while for me to start retrusting myself. Okay. So that is really important for you to keep those promises to yourself so you can trust yourself through this process of becoming a new you. And then you can feel more comfortable and safer doing it. These habits show that your subconscious mind, basically, that you are safe, that you are worthy, and that you are growing. And those are all beautiful things to cultivate. And then another thing that you can try to do is a visualization practice. Spend a few minutes every day visualizing your future life. See it, feel it, experience it in your mind. The brain doesn't know if it's imagination or if it's actually reality. Visualize it because that helps accelerate the manifestations that you are trying to bring to life, right? So if you're trying to create this new life, create a new job, create whatever you're trying to create, the more you see it, the more your mind will believe it, the more you can embody it, and the faster it will come. Now, prayer has been part of my whole entire routine from the get-go with this, because I started my my healing and stuff like that with God. I asked him basically to guide me, to see what I needed to see in order to become my best self. I also asked him to show me the steps that I needed to take to become more like him, and also what patterns that I needed to break in order to become my best self. Those are some of the things that you can ask to whatever is on your spirit that you need to ask him to help you. And then also meditation. Meditation allows you to hear your thoughts, the real ones, those hidden beliefs that is hiding somewhere under there. And, and it also may even show you some emotional triggers that you may have. So with time, you'll start noticing some patterns in your negative thoughts, once you, start seeing things, you can start changing them, right? Because sometimes you're like, oh, that's not really important. But if it's coming up for you, then it's obviously something that you need to change in order to be able to become your dream woman. And the truth about change is you cannot live a new life with that old mindset, okay? You can't attract healthy love with a wounded identity. You can't achieve success while believing you're unworthy. So your subconscious mind is the foundation of creating your dream life. And if you don't heal it, you will self-sabotage yourself at every turn that comes up. If you truly want a better life, it starts with the thoughts that you repeat. It starts with the beliefs that you choose to keep. And it starts with treating your mind like a sacred space, watering it with positivity, gratitude, self-compassion, and love. Reprogramming your subconscious mind is not a luxury, it is a liberation. Because once your mind believes the new story, guess what? Your life will finally become it. You will start unfolding and start showing you proof that these things are sprouting. Your seeds are starting to blossom and become the dream life that you are trying to create. So don't lose hope. Stay consistent and keep your faith, right? Because you have to have your faith in order to get these things to come true. So program your subconscious mind, have faith, and be grateful for the journey and for all of the new things that are coming up for you. I love you and happy healing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.